The Coracle is a small, lightweight boat seen in Wales and on the River Severn. They're an effective fishing vessel because, firstly, they were when powered by skilled men, they hardly disturb the water or the fish. They can easily be manoeuvred with one arm, whilst the other arm tends to the nets. They can be carried easily on the back by one man, and most importantly, the Coracle, unique link between the modern life of Britain and its remote past. There are some records which say that this early type of boat was in existence amongst the Britons at the time of the invasion of Julius Caesar. What's interesting about coracles is they're actually made from locally harvested materials. Willow or ash for the lats or the laths, which are the ribs, hazel for the weave, or, as we know in modern boats, the gunwales. Some coracles were made from sawn ash, other coracles were actually made with no nails at all, and they relied on interweaving of the lats for the structural coherence, and then the gunwale itself was wound with willow. The coracle I'm interested in is the coracle that Brian Waters found, which Brian Waters identified as an Ironbridge coracle by its design. Brian Waters found this coracle in the River Severn estuary, and he put the thing on the back of his bike and carried the thing to the nearest bus stop and hid his bike in the edge, and somehow managed to convince the bus driver to allow him on the bus with this coracle, and he took it home. So what we've decided to do is place ourselves in the position of a user of such an object by actually making a coracle for ourselves. So what we've got here, first of all, is a piece of sawn timber for the seat. No measurements are needed. Like most things these, they were made from local material, so you just make the measurements to suit yourself. Just attaching a couple of noggins to the bottom of the seat to support the seat and to support the gunwale. Nailing the gunwale to the seat supports with copper nails, just using the lump hammer just to support the noggin while we hammer the copper nails in. And that's the completed gunwale. Again, no measurements. What you did, you just made these things until they looked about right. Just making sure everything's nice and smooth and lined up. Now comes the hard work. All these ash laths have been actually sawn, and we just need now to take the rough edges off them, stop them puncturing the bottom of the coracle. Just have to sand them down, laying the lats or the laths out to form the bottom of the coracle. Again, just done by eye, no measurements. Laying the cross lats. I'm actually drilling holes in these before I knock the nails in. The traditional way to make these would actually be use a bodkin, because the beauty of using a bodkin is the hole just actually closes up after you've put the nail in. And again, copper nails have been around quite a while. So that's all laid out in the style of the Ironbridge coracle. What we're doing now is to just place the gunwale in position, and again, no measurements. What we've used is a milk crate and a block of wood, so it looks about right. It gives the coracle a draft of about between 1 foot and 18 inches, but it's not actually measured. I'm just trimming a few of the lats down to size now, just so we can get the actual steamer on the ends of the lats. This is a really interesting part. Each lat has to be steamed for about 5 or 10 minutes so we can bend it. You can see we've done one already. And then you bend your lats, clamp it in place, knock a copper nail in, and then just clench the nail over, because obviously the nail and the gunwale is under quite a bit of strain with the bent lath. And then as you work your way around, you just trim the surplus lats off level with the gunnels. Just clenching the last few lats. That's all the lats all bent up in place now. What we're doing here is we're just taking some measurements for an external gunnel, which will fit once the covering to the coracle is actually in place, and this external gunnel will hold the calico in place. But before we put the covering on, we just need to put a bulkhead in the coracle. And the idea of the bulkhead is it forms a barrier between the front and the back of the seats. So when you're using the coracle, you can store your net behind the seat, and also any fish you've caught, and they don't sort of roll through and get in the way of your feet when you're trying to paddle the thing. You can see there now, just slided in some lats to build the bulkhead. And that's the bulkhead completed. The bulkhead also gives a little bit of support to the bottom of the coracle when you're sailing it, and just gives it a little bit of extra rigidity. Playing out the calico for the covering. So we just drop a couple of temporary nails in just to make sure it fits. We've got sufficient material on both sides, plus the front and the back. And then we start to pin the calico in place and try to stretch it as tight as we can. And stapling it in place, trying to get as much slack out of the material as we can. You can see it's just working our way around and pulling and stapling the material as we go. And then we fit this ash lat as a gunnel, what we measured up earlier on. So we've made what we call a little open gunnel. And what we do is we hold the gunnel in place by driving some copper nails in and then clenching those. And that's basically the coracle finished. Just needs a little bit of surplus material trimming off. But it's now finished. As I've said, it's a craft that can be carried by one person quite easily. It's highly manoeuvrable. We're now going to give it a little maiden voyage as soon as the rain stops. And got Simon and Linda now about to take it for a little sail on the lake. The dog wants to get in on the act, as he always does. And we're away. Sailed with one oar. That enabled you to keep your other hand free, so you could play out nets, pull fish in. Perfect little craft really for fishing. Lots of people in Bridge North actually built coracles purely to avoid paying the toll charge for the new Ironbridge. And so you'd quite often see a coracle hanging on the back garden on the gate.